to find a home? Where would it go to find its audience? What would be the best screening possibilities for a 6-minute, essentially silent film? Where would it go to find its most broadest audience? So, does anybody have any ideas about where in the Philippines that film could possibly find its ideal audience? Anyone?
You could, ideal Cinemalaya short film competition.
Absolutely, but not just Cinemalaya. I mean, this is a film that tells not just a Filipino story, but a Chinese Filipino story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just Cinemalaya that plays short films. What would be the other film festivals that film would sit well in? I mean, you're saying Cinemalaya because it is slightly more experimental in nature?
No, it's the most, I guess, in terms of short films, I think that's the most, I guess, highest and most, has a more reach in terms of critically among all the film festivals around the Philippines.
Okay, so you're saying that out of all the film festivals in the Philippines, aim for that one?
Yes.
So I would agree with you, 100%. Okay, what if Cinemalaya turns the film down or says we have no room on the program? Where would you go?
I would go to Kawat CCP, the alternative program. That's mostly, there's a running, I guess, theme where those that did not make Cinemalaya end up being in the Kawat CCP. But it has also a good platform because it has a long history and it is also prestigious. So, yeah. But it won't be get as bigger audience compared to getting to Cinemalaya.
And also, Cinemalaya has that prestige as well. If you're a short filmmaker, you want those laurels, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, festival audience, absolutely. It was made for a festival audience because they are like you said, the ideal audience. I wanted to say a smarter audience, but that's being a little that's being a little mean. but really, I think that it would be the most appreciative audience for something like that. Now, the festival circuit is great, but you need to be in a building at a certain time, on a certain date, usually for just one screening. Now, you can screen what, to perhaps 300 people?
Yes.
Right.
Depends on the site.
What about everyone else who might possibly like that film? I mean, we need to find a broader audience. So my question is, other than film festivals, and film festivals have a limited time frame and a very limited geographic scope, where's the next level of exhibition that would find an even larger audience than 300 people at a film festival? Where does that film then go to find a larger audience?
Then the next step would be go online. So online platform.
There's a lot of things online.
Yes. Well, you could go.
Have you seen how many things are on YouTube? There's hundreds.
Yes. I think to be specific, you could try Vidsi, like this short film program, I guess, website that curates short films. And maybe that would give them a platform or something.
And not only that, it could give it a nice framing device.
Yes.
And a curatorial authority to it. So really, what that film needs is a very appreciative and authoritative voice saying, watch this film.
That's right. Yeah.
Because ultimately, we as filmmakers, we are competing against product for ABS-CBN, Hollywood, right? The rest of the internet, cat videos. Man, have you seen the rating figures on cat films? Oh my God, right? Now, there's no cats in that from what I can tell. So you're competing against, right, mobile phone devices that are sending these compressed files from peer to peer, friend to friend, who are primarily wanting distraction. They want, you know, like a cheap laugh. They want footage of a 3-year-old falling off a bicycle, because that apparently is hilarious, right? This is a 6-minute silent short dealing with things much deeper than a singing cat. So, how do we get that file competing against something like that?
For me, as also a Chinese, just to promote that 6-minute video is in Filipino Chinese organization that we can share it, that movie.
Bingo.
Yeah.
There we go. Now these are great ideas. So you need an organization. You need friends. And this is what I was saying during the break. And it's been a long day, so forgive me. I can't remember if I hammered this point home before, but we're filmmakers. Sometimes it's one guy with a camera. Did I tell this story before? I can't remember. Anyway, we're sometimes one person with a camera. Sometimes it's a small crew. You know, you've got actors, or you have your subjects. You have your post-production crew, you have your behind-the-scenes people. Maybe if you're lucky, you've got 50 to 100 people working with you. That's a collaborative thing. You're not working in isolation. This isn't a painter with a paintbrush working in a studio by oneself, right? You're part of an extended family for the period of the production. But you also want an audience. Now, this means that you need a support network around you. You basically need friends telling people, you've got to watch this. This is the community suddenly extending itself. You are so not isolated now. You need friends. And you need to make friends. And so, right, through a Filipino-Chinese organization like that, that is already a community which you can tap into, because you have shared values, shared interests, etc., etc. So that is a perfect example of no longer feeling isolated and also giving back to the community. And this is something that I'm a firm believer in. You know, go out there, make friends, you know, shake hands, tell people what you're doing, share. Don't expect money to come out of this. Send people your links for free, you know. I remember the first time I got bootlegged on a download site. I found a link to the search for Weng Weng. I was so happy. You wouldn't believe it, because I mean, I've been bootlegging films since I was 11. Right? I couldn't believe that my film, right? Someone thought that my film was worth making a copy of. Right? It was so empowering. And the other thing at play is that even when your film comes out on DVD, and it has in several territories, I still haven't seen any money from that whatsoever. Because the system of distribution is set up so that the companies, the sales agents, the broadcasters, they're the ones making money off your product. Probably not you, because they have a contract which says, oh, we have expenses. We have plane fares to film markets, right? I've heard this time and time again. I said, well, didn't you guys sell X hundred copies? oh yeah, but we went to Cannes. Like, oh my God, my film is paying for your hotel. And it's a familiar story. So, as a filmmaker, particularly if you're doing documentaries, which don't tend to make a lot of money, or if you're making marginal interest films that don't have the scope of a Hollywood blockbuster, then you don't expect to see any money at the other end. You need to pay yourself, if you can, you need to pay yourself while the film is being made. There needs to be money put aside in the budget to pay your living expenses, pay yourself a wage while the film is being made, not hoping for a magical pot of money somewhere in some kind of mythic future. So like I said, I still haven't been paid for Search for Weng Weng, but what has happened is that film has created opportunities for me. I didn't have any budget to pay myself while the film was being made, but I have received back 1,000-fold through the opportunities that film has given me. So I guess my point is, don't be greedy. Don't think that you're going to get rich out of this. I was sleeping on buses, remember, right? Someone robbed me in Mexico and I couldn't afford a cup of coffee. A glamorous life of the filmmaker, but rich in so many other ways. Oh my God. And part of the reason why I was able to survive in Mexico is I have so many good friends. Not just in Australia, but in all the places that I visited. I've got friends now in just about every town that I've been through who are all saying, come back, Andrew. I have so many friends here in the Philippines. I'm ready to move here. I seriously think that I'm going to be living here next year because, again, opportunities are starting to come to the surface. And I think one of the reasons why is because I've always been so grateful for the help of these new friends. And so you give back. You have to give back. You can't think that what you do has a value, a monetary value, and that you're holding out for that payback, right? You've got to do this for love. You have to love what you do. You have to love your audience, and that love will come back to you. Maybe not in financial form, but in so many other ways.
Thank you for your suggestion, but I did bring this film to different Chinese schools. I actually did it like we show it first, and then I have a 3-hour acting workshop with them because I also impart my education in theater arts, same as my co-alumni, Ms. Lisa. So the Chinese schools, they appreciate it because it's something about Chinese Filipinos. And then based on the suggestion of Mayor Navarro, I literally flew to Singapore to hand over the USB to Vinci or Vimeo.
Vinci.
Yeah. After reviewing it, they say it's really good just for the art house. So right now, I have the courage to ask the chair, Ms. Lisa, maybe in the future sessions, can we have aspiring filmmakers like us show our film, a short film, and then we have a Q&A so that we can continue to inspire each other. And lastly, I'm always dreaming big, but I always articulate it. Because once I announce it, there's no way for me but to move up. So recently you came to watch Binondo and Chinoy musical. We are in the process of making it into a film. Either as a narrative film or a musical film. With your help and God's help, I hope it becomes a reality.
That is amazing. And it also speaks of another truth, and that is a short film or a partly completed film is not perhaps yet fully formed, that 6-minute film that may play some festivals, that you can do teaching sessions with, suddenly takes on a life of its own, and all of a sudden it's being shown at Busan, you know, or Rotterdam, or, you know, dream big is the point. Dream of places that your film can play, and guess what, you know, it might actually happen. And then you have manifested something incredible. You have achieved your dream of playing at a prestigious festival where you're probably there for the premiere, and you have made your dream a reality. That's why I said before that filmmaking is a magical process. And I think that it's very important to not be, well, be humble, but think big. Don't expect the film to play somewhere, but send it anyway. Because particularly with the Philippines, I've discovered this is the time. I was saying this to Lisa before. This is the time for Philippines to take the world stage once more. Okay? Now you did it before. 1975, Lino Brocca, Cannes Film Festival. Becomes the sensation of Cannes with Incheon. I think it might have been 76. Right, so 76, he's at Cannes Film Festival. This is amazing. That probably hadn't happened since Manuel Conde playing Venice, right? So we have that initial, you know, golden age of the post-war to late 50s, of which Genghis Khan is part of. So that's the Philippines going out to the ASEAN Film Festival, I've discovered that the 1950s is the golden age of Asian co-productions. During that period, during the ASEAN Film Festival, starting in around 1951, you suddenly see a level of cooperation between filmmakers from different countries. All of a sudden, there is a Filipino-Indonesian co-production. Actually, there's 3 of them in the 1950s. There are Filipino films talking to South Korean filmmakers, and they're doing films together in South Korea, Vietnam, Japan, Hong Kong. Shaw Brothers made a musical here called Hong Kong, Singapore, Manila in 1965. This is part of this incredible period of cooperation and exchange of ideas, which is coming out of the Philippines, putting itself on the stage with fellow Asian countries. And some of the films were incredible. I mean, remember that this was the golden age, the first golden age. And Philippine cinema was considered, along with Japanese and Hong Kong cinema, the best in Asia. Somewhere in the 60s, standards started to drop a little, and that's the golden age of good cinema, right? And that's the stuff that I really get excited about. But then